All right, so it has now become clear to me in these last 3 games that the Blue Jackets are not, not even close to be making a playoff series this year. With a 7-3 loss, I guess it's been 3 games since I've covered one. I kind of just ranted for 3 minutes about Elvis. For the Avalanche game, but with a 7-3 loss against the Avalanche, a 5-0 and 4-0 loss against the Maple Leafs and Senators, it's kind of just becoming clear that they've run out of gas. And I think that's really it. I just think they've overperformed for most of this season, and I think it's just kind of running low, and they've kind of spent everything they have, which is fine. This team wasn't really expected to be anywhere anyways, so the fact that they were even here is pretty cool. I didn't think that they'd be playing any meaningful games at all this year, let alone in April. So, listen, unless they win 6 in a row here, I highly doubt it. And even if they win 6 in a row, Montreal's schedule to end the year is so easy. Standings-wise, obviously it's not always an easy game, but standings-wise, Montreal's rest of the season is so easy that I really don't even think that would get them in at this point. The Canadiens are now 8 points up on the Jackets with only one more game played. So, they did what they could. They got close. That's all that kind of matters this season. Would I like them to have made the playoffs? Yes. Did I expect it ever? At some points in the season, yes. At some points in the season, the Jags like a legitimate playoff team, and I actually did think they might. But it's kind of become clear after that 6-game losing streak that they were never going to fully get back to how they were from the January, from literally January 1st up until March 1st was kind of the area where I'm like, okay, this is a playoff team. After that, it's kind of been clear that this team was sort of treading water, not really going to make it, and if they did, they'd squeak in and get killed in the first round. But hey, they were probably supposed to be one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NHL this year. I mean, we all know what happened in August. I mean, literally, as much as you don't want to talk about it like this, their best player passed away. I don't think anyone thought that a struggling Jackets team the year before would be better without Johnny Gaudreau. And obviously his passing has nothing to do with them being better this year. It's just everyone has seemed to step up a little bit, but I don't think anyone really saw that coming, is kind of my point. So this team has, funny enough, surpassed expectations by a pretty good amount. I just don't think that it's enough. Clearly it's not enough. The points show it's not enough. But there are some things I do want to talk about, and that is some of the deadline moves, or I guess the deadline moves that kind of bothered me a little bit. Where the players are that were with the Jackets during the 2-month run, where they were playing really well and in a playoff spot, and what's gone on since they've left. So, what I want to do is take a look at that, because if you've noticed, Jake Christensen has barely been in hockey games since the trade deadline, if any at all. He's played 66 games this year. At one point, he was the only defenseman for the Jackets to have played every game this season. And then March 29th was his last game that he's played. So it's been since March 29th. It's now April 7th. And before March 29th, he hadn't played since March 13th. This man had played every game for the Jackets the entire year. And then after the trade deadline has played, I believe, 4 games for the Jackets. I get it. Actually, I do get it, because Severson and Goodbranson did come back. But, I mean, Severson has been okay at best. Severson's been okay. Good Branson, I mean, he's been bad, dude. He hasn't done anything. We kind of, okay, bad's a little harsh, but he hasn't really done much either. He has 1 point in 10 games, which isn't exactly what he's there for, but I mean, even then, like, yeesh, dude, 1 point in 10 games, kind of brutal. And that was in the game where we scored 7 goals. He didn't even get one. In the game, we scored 8. So that's a little annoying that Christensen's not even getting any playing time, really. Another thing that bothered me was James Van Riemsdyk coming out for a few games. That didn't really make any sense because for a while there, he was running at about half a point a game, and it seems like he came out of the lineup mostly for Luke Cunnin to stay in, which I still don't get. That was kind of weird to me. Good Branson and Severson staying in the lineup and not having Christensen in was a little weird. And Luka Del Belbelou's not ever being recalled is kind of bothering me because I believe, what did he play this year for the Jackets? He played 15 games and had 8 points. And it was a +2. Like, why was he not ever called back up? His last game was February 8th. I don't understand what exactly was going on there, why he hasn't really been called back up. And then also, I've harped on this so much because it's something that really pisses me off. Jet Greaves, he's played, 1 game since March? He didn't play, okay, he's played 6 games this year, okay? He played December 12th, December 14th, December 17th, December 23rd, January 11th, and then didn't play until March 17th. I really don't know what's going on here. Did we try and shit ourselves once March started? Because we were playing very well and in a playoff spot. And it's almost like we purposely shat our pants to, sewer our season? I don't understand what exactly was going on here. I get the players got healthy. I do get that. But once you start to see Eric and Branson, and Damon Severson was always healthy. He just sucks. Once you see that they start to play like shit, why would you not put the players back in that were winning you games for 2 months straight? I just don't get why, what happened there. I don't really understand at all what was going on. And now you could say, well, these guys weren't really huge parts of the team. That is true. They weren't huge parts of the team. Jay Christensen, you could argue, was. He's played 66 games this year. He played every single game until they just randomly stopped playing him. Luka Del Belbelou's only played 15 games. That is true, but during that 15 games, I think their record was pretty damn good because I think he got called up in January and played until the beginning of February, played until February 8th, I believe, was his last game, and that was literally when they were playing their best. So, not really sure what was going on there. Jet Greaves, like I've said so many times, has a 9.05. I still don't know why he doesn't play. He has a career 9.10 with the Jackets and a 9.18 right now with the Monsters and a 9.26 in the playoffs last year for the Monsters. I still don't get why he doesn't play games. That pisses me off every time I see Tarasov in net. I don't know. I really kind of wish they had sort of stuck with the team that they had, in early March. Or I guess, I wish they had stuck with the team they had when the roster with Del Belbelou's in it, I think, was the best roster. I think that roster and the roster they had in the Stadium Series game, I think, is probably the best roster. That was probably that 2-month period was probably the best roster they had. And then they traded for Luke Cunnin, which, I'm sorry, that's now my least favorite player. That man doesn't do shit. He's literally just there. He doesn't do anything. I don't understand what, the thought process was when we got him. Our deadline deal has been healthy scratched. What are we doing? Oh my God. I wasn't even mad. I was perfectly fine with them not making the playoffs. And then I look at some of the stupid things they did, and I'm like, they were so clearly going to make the playoffs, and then these idiots came in and just decided to change half the roster. I don't understand what's going on. They decided to change, like, the bottom six, took out Luka Del Belbaluz, took out James Van Riemsdyk for a few games, and then just decided that Jet Greaves just doesn't exist anymore. I don't understand. They need, like, oh my God, 4 more wins, and they're literally in a playoff spot right now. That roster with those players were humming. They'd have easily 4 more wins right now if they just weren't stupid, if they just let things be as they were. Let the young guys play NHL games. Luka Del Belbaluz is 21. Jet Greaves, a goalie, just turned 24 literally 1 week ago. Those young guys were getting NHL experience and playing well in them. If they suck, then sure, put them back down in the minors. But they didn't suck. They played well. Luka Del Belbaluz was literally half a point a game, and Jet Greaves had a 905. Why did they not stay up with the team? Okay, I don't know. I actually don't know. But now I'm mad, and I've worked myself up. This is more just a rant again. I feel like I'm going to be doing this quite often, like, even though, again, like I said, it's perfectly, like, acceptable that they aren't in a playoff spot right now, but it's more annoying that they so easily could be, and it's always just the incompetence of everyone involved. Like, I just don't get it. I love Dean Evison. I think he's done a great job. Without Dean Evison, I think they are probably a bottom 5 team right now, maybe a little better than that. But some of the roster decisions, the stupid trade deadline deal for Luke Kunin that's just the dumbest thing ever. This season was just like a blessing, like they're playing well. The young guys are taking a step forward. They're in a playoff spot, or at least damn close to one. And then they trade for Luke Kunin. That was their deadline deal. I get it. You don't go all in on this team. They're still too young. But what was Luke Kunin going to do? Like, I just don't understand what that was supposed to do. He literally... I don't think he has a point for the Jackets yet. I get it. He's not there for the points. I do know this. But at least a 1? 12 games and 0 points and a -4? What do you do? Like, what do you do? I don't even know if he has how many shots on goal does this dude have? 17 shots on goal. All right, he's at least shooting the puck. But our deadline deal's averaging 11.46 a night. What? Like, what? I'm sorry. All right, I'm just complaining now. No one really wants to hear this. I'm just doing this for my own sanity so I don't lose my mind. You're welcome for this 13-minute rant on how stupid the Blue Jackets can be. Again, I do want to keep this in mind. This season overall is a positive. The young guys got better. Werenski had a great season, which I think he can keep doing. I think they are a playoff team next year, or at least very close. I think they'll be better than they are this year. I think that this was a great year, all things considered. It just sucks that it could have been so much better and was going so much better until it just went off the rails with some stupid decisions. And that's all I really got. I appreciate the listening.